All right, people, new pack just landed. Is it gas or what? Okay, look, I would not normally be so disrespectful in the face of somebody passing away. We're going to try and take this story with, real reverence and responsibility. But I can't lie, this new pack's hitting, man. This new pack's is gas, man. I just rolled a big one and took it straight to the dome, man, because it's actually crazy news that has just come out of the UK. Okay, this isn't hip hop news, but this was big news in the UK when the case first happened. And it sounds like that new pack, that gas, that real czar just landed, man. That real gasoline. Because we are smoking good today because former Lost Prophets singer and convicted child S offender Ian Watkins was killed in a UK prison attack, media reports say. Okay, Ian Watkins, if you don't know about this guy, this is a trigger warning because you're about to find out some very, very disgusting stuff that this man got up to. And that's why we are rolling a big boy zoot to smoke Ian Watkins today, man. Ian Watkins, the former frontman of Welsh rock band The Lost Prophets, who was serving a 35-year sentence for child S offences, has been killed in prison by another inmate, man. Watkins, 48, was serving his sentence at Wakefield Prison in northern England at 9:39 a.m. this morning. Police were called by staff at Her Majesty's Prison Wakefield reporting an assault on a prisoner, man, and he checked, okay? Emergency services attended and the man was pronounced dead at the scene a short time later, man. No hospital, gang. He didn't even make it to the hospital. The statement didn't name Watkins, but it has been revealed Watkins was convicted in 2013 after pleading guilty to 13 charges. He had admitted to attempted R words, essaying a child under 13, aiding and abetting the essay of a child under 13, conspiring to R word a child under 13, and conspiring to SA another child under 13. He also pled guilty to 6 counts of taking and possessing indecent images of children and 1 of possessing extreme pornographic images, man. So the pack is hitting crazy today, okay? We're smoking Ian Watkins all day long, man. I do not care, okay? I wouldn't normally celebrate. I'm not celebrating. I'm just saying the pack is loud. That's what I'm saying, okay? No, I'm not even going to say no disrespect, but the pack is loud. That's all I'm going to say, okay? Because this guy was a real piece of shit, okay? This guy was a real exclusive strand that's just landed at the dispensary right now, okay? So Ian Watkins was a singer in the band The Lost Prophets. I'm not going to lie, never heard a song, never will hear a song, straight dookie, do not care what this guy has to say, but he was pretty popping in the UK scene. Okay, Ian Watkins, he was a Welsh singer and convicted child S offender. He was the lead singer of the band The Lost Prophets, but in 2013, he was indicted for multiple S offences that I just told you a minute ago, and it was pretty serious. But he is now a pack, 11th of October 2025. That is the date that the pack just landed, and we are smoking good, okay? So look, don't care about his career that much. Do not care, okay? Started the rock band, The Lost Prophets, okay? They were headlining festivals. They were killing it. They were doing all sorts of stuff. But now he's in a pack because, all right, these sexual offenses and criminal activity. Now, this stuff is pretty messed up. This stuff is extremely sordid, okay? He was sentenced for attempting to art a baby. Okay, this stuff is actually twisted. It's so messed up. I don't even know if I want to get too deep into this stuff, okay? But it was reported that he was doing abuse and misconduct with children as early as 2008. And you know how the UK like to get? If he'd have tweeted about it, he probably would have been in cuffs a long time ago. But you know how the UK like to just... Yeah, the UK like to just close their eyes and let things go on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm not there right now. But it included both sexual abuse and giving drugs to children, including cocaine. His former bandmates claimed they were unaware of his conduct with children, but his drug use began to cause heavy strain on his relationship with the band. He requested his own private dressing room away from the 5 band members, where apparently much of his abuse of children allegedly took place, and he'd chosen to minimize personal contact with his bandmates because he was getting busy behind the scenes doing absolutely disgusting stuff. Okay, an ex-girlfriend of his called Joanne recalled him possessing multiple graphic images involving minors and drug paraphernalia. She'd made multiple complaints to the South Wales police, but they didn't care because it's the UK, baby. Like, what? Offences against children, we don't care, man. Come back when you got a tweet. Come back when somebody's got the UK flag flying on their front lawn, and then we'll put someone in prison. But offences against children, bro, he went in there, did what he bold to do, according to the UK state. So they didn't take any action, okay? She was one of 6 people who had spoken to the police regarding his contact between 2008 and 2011. In 2010, an Australian woman came forward accusing him of assaulting her child, and the allegations were also not investigated by the authorities, so I guess the Australians are probably on the same stuff that the UK authorities are on. It's actually despicable. During the recording of the band's full studio album, The Betrayed, The woman was made aware by Watkins that he was abusing a 2-year-old child in California while they were recording in LA. The woman contacted the child's parents, who had also reported him to the Welsh authorities, but they ain't caring. These offences committed by these kinds of offences committed by British nationals are actually crimes of extraterritorial jurisdiction. Okay, I don't know how that works, but I might need to be careful what I tweet. But again, no further action was taken to investigate. They said, "Bruh, come on, man." Come on, man. Come on, he UK. That's what they said. Okay, disgusting. Anyway, he was apprehended in June 2012 in connection with various drug charges where he was granted bail shortly afterwards. And then he had already attracted attention from Welsh law enforcement after friends reported he was regularly smuggling C and methamphetamine from LA. He was a real wild guy, man. He was arrested again on 4th of November for drug possession and a separate allegation that he had possessed an obscene image of a child. He pled not guilty to possessing the explicit material and was granted bail because it's the UK. That's how they get down, man. That's the UK. Let him walk around. Let him just be amongst the population, man. Because until he does it, 9 or 10 times, then I guess we'll finally have to do something. Watkins performed his final show with the Lost Prophets on the 14th of November in 2012 in Wales. He was then arrested for a third time, finally, after years and years and years of letting this continue. The authorities said, go on then. All right. On the 17th of December 2012, he was arrested for drug possession charges. They searched his home and found a computer. And during the search, they discovered numerous indecent images of minors on the computer. Okay. He was charged at Cardiff Magistrate Court with conspiracy to engage in SA with a 1-year-old girl. Disgusting. And distribution of indecent images. Extreme animal P. All right, he was remanded on custody where 2 females were also co-accused. His barrister said he would deny the accusations. He appeared by a video link-up, and the trial was delayed. It eventually started. They eventually had the trial, and he actually pled guilty to attempted R and SA of a child under 13, but not the R. He attempted R, but he's saying I didn't R. Okay, this was actually accepted by the prosecution. He pled guilty to 3 counts of SA involving kids, 6 counts of taking, making, and possessing indecent images, 1 count of extreme P, involving an S act on an animal. His victims included a baby boy. He sent a text message to the mother of one victim and says, "You belong to me, so does your baby." Okay. They finally looked into him properly. They had Operation Globe. They decrypted a hard drive on his laptop, and it had a whole bunch of abuse evidence. Okay. They bypassed his password, noting that the password, wow. The password was IF Kids. Yeah. He referred to his S offenses as mega lols in a recorded phone call to a female fan from prison, and he was eventually sentenced. His barrister said he had no recollection of the case involving the attempted R, but had belatedly realized the gravity of what happened and having developed an obsession with him videotaping himself having S. He was sentenced to 29 years prison with the eligibility for parole in 2031. So if this guy wasn't a pack in the air, gas, hitting my lungs right now, in 6 years' time, this guy might have been walking around. And that's, the UK authorities love that, man. Just get him back out there on the street, man. All right? We could be putting somebody in there for smoking a spliff. Why are we having this guy in prison? Let him out. All right? That's what they were really going for with this guy. His 2 co-defendants, the mothers of his victims, received sentences of 14 and 17 years imprisonment, rightly so. And the judge said the case plunged into new depths of depravity. He had a corrupting influence and a complete lack of remorse, and a senior officer said he was a committed and organized PDF, potentially the most dangerous offender that he had ever seen. Okay? And even in prison, he was accused of grooming a 2-year-old girl's mother from prison through letters. All right? And a spokesperson for the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children said, "This is an absolute shambles. We're sickened. It's utterly bewildering that he could carry on grooming for behind bars. It shows contempt for the children he abused, and it raises serious questions about supervision." He was back in Wakefield prison, all right? And they even said that the detectives should face disciplinary action after they failed to act on the earlier allegations from 2008, man. The UK is a PDF island. I'm not going to lie to you. It's actually disgusting, the shit that is allowed to slide in the UK. But anyway, the police failed a number of times from 2008 to 2012 to act on reports of his behavior, quoting a detective who said taking action would draw huge publicity, and due to his fame, he had a number of fans and ex-girlfriends making allegations that when investigated are false. Okay? It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. They allowed this guy to just be out here. He had a mobile phone in prison. He was using the phone to maintain contact with a girl outside of jail. You know what I mean? He refused to give names. He still got fan mail. and people wanted him, and that men wanted him to help them take advantage of the women writing as a revenue stream. Okay, he was convicted for further time in prison. All right, related to having a mobile phone device, all of this stuff. He reportedly paid a Liverpool gang member £1,000 for access to a mobile, and then when he got caught with it, he had to pay 5 bags. Okay, but here's another crazy thing. I didn't actually know this. On the morning of the 5th of August 2023, he was taken hostage by 3 inmates and stabbed before being freed 6 hours later. Okay, the injuries were not life-threatening, unfortunately, and it was later claimed the motive for the attack was an unsettled £900 drug debt. All right, and they hit him up with a makeshift weapon made from a sharpened toilet brush. Okay, so you might have to there might be dirty toilet time in there. Okay, Watkins was reported to have spent his time buying both protection and friendships from other inmates after the attack, although through bank transfers coordinated by his and the inmates' families and associates. Okay, but he was hit up, and he is now a pack. Okay, we are smoking big Ian Watkins. Okay, we're smoking straight Watkins runts, man. You know what I mean? Straight czar. They're saying this is the guy who got off on torturing infants for pleasure, all right? And that really undersells the horrors of what he's done. Okay. Surprised it took this long. He was also stabbed in 2023. I certainly won't be mourning over this one. Okay, people are saying in the man's infamous words, mega lols. It is mega lols all the way to hell, man. That's what we're gonna have to name the pack. The mega lols just landed, man. I got 3 5s of that mega lols, man. It will hit you in the dome for sure. Okay, that quote, "You belong to me and so does your baby." Yep, rot in hell. Apparently, the one that messed somebody up was a woman telling Watkins the boy is ready to be. These monsters were talking about a 6-month-old. Okay, it is disgusting. The pack is hitting, man, today. The pack is actually hitting. Saying, I'm shocked it took as long as it did. He might have been in solitary for a while. They had it under control. Everybody knew that they wanted to hit him up. People are saying, I hope the knife is okay, man. I also hope that knife is okay. But apparently, man, the 2 guys responsible for this have been arrested. Now, it takes the UK police about 3-4 years to get you if you're actually doing this stuff. But if you're hitting up, if you're creating the new pack of the megalols, they'll get on you straight within hours. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's hard to get away with these sorts of things in jail. 2 men were arrested over the murder of Ian Watkins, man. Okay, please bear in mind these people could be bad, if not worse. That's a long shot. If there's a temptation to praise them, would you praise him if he murdered a child R word? Okay, lots of cringe comments in threads about, oh, let them out. These guys were no doubt equally monstrous. He was likely killed for the same reasons he was previously assaulted. Drug debt, common in prisons, but he was fairly well reported and frequently on something, man. Let's have a look at the article, okay? They're saying that West Yorkshire police have arrested 2 men in connection of the suspicion of murder of Ian Watkins. The suspects are 25 and 43. They're in police custody, and they launched a murder investigation. A man aged 48 was found with serious injuries. Despite medical attention, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Oh, no. Pack's just hitting, man. 2 men aged 25 to 43 have been arrested on suspicion of murder and are in police custody. Okay, detectives from the Homicide and Major Inquiry Team are investigating. Inquiries remain ongoing. Oh, now they care. Now they want to investigate something. Okay, bruh. Got juked up, man. Got big juked up. It is actually hilarious at the end of the day. But yeah, man, Ian Watkins gone, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely rest in peace. Definitely no rest in peace, man. You know what I mean? They're saying celebrating death is against. We're not celebrating, man. We're not celebrating his death. It just so happens coincidentally a new pack, the Megalols pack, just landed at dispensaries near you, and that's hitting, man. That is actually hitting. Roll up a big one. People saying I was a big Lost Prophets fan as a teenager. Me and a mate had tickets to a HMV signing. When Start Something came out, we were about 14. We overslept and missed the train. Thankfully, that was probably for the best. Okay, but 14, you're probably too old for Ian Watkins at this point. Okay. People said, F him, but I hate our prison systems allowed this. It's not about this prick. It's about the innocent person that is killed when we don't protect them. I don't like nonsense either, but I want a prison system which is safe and they're sentenced to their time just the way it should be. No R word, no death, just 4 walls. Well, they were saying he was going to be eligible for parole in 2031. Unfortunately, he's not going to make it back to those UK streets, Fortunately. All right. He's back. You know what I mean? I'm just celebrating the fact that a new pack's landed. Like, I don't know if you've been to the dispensary recently. You know what I'm saying? They got the Megalols pack. It's all in stock. That's completely separate. We're not celebrating this. You know, obviously it's a somber tone. You know, a man's lost his life. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe today's the day to just make a little trip to the dispensary, grab yourself a little 3-5 of the Megalols and just bill one up for the gang. Okay? Because You know what I'm saying? People always saying you all you focus on is gang members, all this. Well, here you go. All right. I'm letting you know that a new pack's just landed and it is gas. It is straight gas. So yep, that's just a little quick update. Ian Watkins, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. See you in the next one.